Hello, YouTube. Hope you're doing well. Um, I'm here to share some thoughts that have been on my mind. The title of today's video is Are you willing to give others the same leeway that you expect from the world? Now, I have some notes on my phone, so bear with me. I'm going to be looking at them through the duration of this video. I also have my cup of tea, which I'll be sipping. Got to keep away the dry mouth. But yeah, I just want to start with a question or share an experience. Have you ever been in one of those situations where you see someone do something that you've previously done and it gives you the ick? So, for instance, have you ever had a loud conversation on the train and you can see it's bothering some people, but you don't really care about it because you're in the midst of your conversation and you're enjoying it? But then, like a week later, you're doing the same commute to work and there's another person having a really loud conversation and it annoys you, and then like you think, oh my days, is that what I sounded like? Now bear in mind, not everyone's going to feel like that. Not everyone's going to be self-aware and think, oh my days, is that what I sounded like? But I've been in that situation a few times where I've seen someone do something that I've previously done and it gives me the severe ick, and I'm like, instead of like focusing solely on the person doing what they're doing, I think to myself, oh man, like I've done that before. Is that what I look like? Oh man. But yeah, I say that to say sometimes we have to uh, give the rest of the world leeway, the same leeway that we, the same leeway that we expect. You understand? So, um, the first point on this topic I want to talk about, that I've written down, is we so easily expect others to be patient with us. Are we willing to extend the same patience for others? You know what I mean? I find myself exercising my patience on a regular basis. So, little situations like being, late for an appointment. Okay, when you're late for an appointment, we often expect the person who gave us the appointment, or not expect, but we hope that the person who gives us the appointment would give us the leeway to be a bit patient with us. Let's say we're like, what, 5 minutes late? You know what I mean? 10 minutes max if you're like me. You know what I mean? We often like want the person to uh, give us that leeway. We extend ourselves and say, please, like I'm late, but can I still do this appointment? Blah, 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 blah. But then on the flip side, let's say you're early to an appointment and the person that you're in appointment, let's say the doctors, you're early to the doctor's appointment, and then the doctor is telling you, or the what do they call it? The receptionist is like, yeah, the doctor will get to you as soon as possible, but you end up waiting for like 10 minutes longer, and then you feel that sense of frustration. I find what helps me is being self-aware in that moment and realizing, if I was late, the same patience that I would want them to extend to me, I also have to extend to them. And what this does for me internally is it helps me balance out the stress and the negativity. And it keeps me calm in situations. You understand? Um, I it took me a long time to get like this, but I often take pride in exercising my patience. You understand? Like it's weird, and this is gonna sound extremely weird, but sometimes when I'm in the line in uh getting my groceries in that Lidl or Asda or wherever I go, um if the queue is long and I find myself there standing, I used to get frustrated. I used to get really frustrated at being in the queue for a really long time. But now I just do this like visualization, and I imagine my patients as a character. Yeah, and you can do this as well. It takes a long time to develop, but I imagine my patients as a character, and I imagine my patients is doing the bench press, and this character called Patience is bench pressing a heavy weight, and that's synonymous to my patients being exercised. So whenever I find myself in a situation where I have to exhibit patience, I imagine that character bench pressing, and that's me exercising my patience. Now, this might not work for everybody. Uh, Everybody might not be built like me, but this is something that works for me and has worked for me over the last year or so. You understand? I don't know how I stumbled across it. I give all glory to God. Um, but that's just like something that helps me, and hopefully, if you implement it in your life, it can help you too. Um, at the same time, you have to realize that your patience will always be tested. Um, your patience will always be tested, but with these little things that you can implement and seeing it as like a game, seeing it as a test and not taking it personally, it gives you the power to defeat um, the feeling of stress, the feeling of anxiety. Um, it helps you to avoid being annoyed. You know what I mean? And you take the power away from the situational person that may be testing your patience, and you put the power back into your hands and use it as a way to exercise um, patience. Remember what they say patience is a virtue. And I feel like I finally understand uh, what that means. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's a way to look at it. The second point that I wrote down is you can do everything correctly on your end, but the world doesn't always revolve around your plans. And what I mean by that is, I had a dentist appointment. I think it was last week. I was going for a deep clean, and I woke up on time, left on time, got to the dentist on time, and I actually had a GP appointment after the dentist appointment. But when I got to the dentist, my dentist wasn't there. He was running late, and I was a bit stressed out because I was like, "Oh man, like I've got this GP appointment later." But I didn't let it push me over the edge. You understand? I just, accepted it and thought to myself, okay, how can I plan around this to make sure that I get to my appointment on time, my next appointment? So I called up my GP. No, first of all, spoke to the receptionist at the dentist, who's a lovely lady, and she was like, yeah, the process of the deep clean is going to take about 20 to 30 minutes. So, apologies for the doctor, the dentist not being here. And I could tell that she was a bit anxious when she was having this conversation with me, because she probably has to deal with this a lot. So, big up all the receptionists that have to deal with people's problems all the time. They it's not their fault if things don't go to plan. And I think a lot of people need to recognize this, and give leeway to receptionists and people like that. But yeah, I could tell that she had a lot of anxiety, and I didn't hold it against her. The old me probably would have, the old entitled me probably would have got mad and got angry. But your boy's older now, you know what I mean? But I don't want to base it like solely on age, because some older people would have still been annoyed and, took it out on her and been a bit more personal. But that's not me. That used to be me. That's not me anymore. I'm a lot more calm, a lot more chill. I'm chill guy now. I don't know if you've seen that meme, but I'm chill guy now. But anyway, yeah, like I just used that to exercise my patience, waited for the dentist to come. The dentist came. He apologized. I said, yo, it's cool, man. Like, you're about to clean my teeth anyway. So, like, I'm not, how can I be angry at you? You know what I mean? You're about to do something that I need being done. It's going to help me in the future. So I can't be angry at you anyway. There's no entitlement there. So, yeah, cool. Got my teeth clean, red tear, helped me out, all of that. It was good. Then I called my GP. Actually, before I got my teeth clean, I called my GP and I was on the phone. I was on hold to the GP for about 10 minutes. And I told the GP, when I got onto the phone to the GP, I told the GP, I said, yo, like, I'm gonna be late to my appointment. GP actually hit me up and said, your appointment's not at this time, it's at this time, which was like 20 minutes later than I thought it would be. So that was on me for thinking that, like, I was, it was on me for thinking I was gonna be late. I actually got my times mixed up. So in the whole grand scheme of things, I was stressing for no reason. Look at that, mad thing. But yeah, that was just another example of, you know, keeping calm in what could potentially be a stressful situation. I could have been stressed for no reason, but I wasn't. And yeah, man, it's just like the point of that was, you may plan everything in a way, but the world or God or the universe, however you want to see it, does not revolve around your plans. So have leeway for it. You know what I mean? Don't be so critical that even in planning everything, when one thing goes wrong, your inner calm and your centeredness shatters. You know what I mean? Because I've been in that situation where, like, you plan everything the right way, then something goes wrong, and it's like, like, you're calm, you're just like, you just lose your shit. You know what I mean? Because you're like, yo, I planned it this way, planned it this way, planned it this way. How did it? You get it? But like, it's like, nah, man, you can't let that happen, bro. Because it's like that in itself is a bit entitled. You know what I mean? That in itself it shows a lot of like entitlement. It's like you think like, yeah, God or the universe or the world or the people in the world like are running on your schedule. Like everyone's got their own lives. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that you shouldn't plan ahead, you know what I mean? Because proper planning prevents poor performance. We all know that. So I'm not saying you shouldn't plan ahead, but just don't lose yourself if things don't go the way you planned. You know what I mean? It's just like that thing where like you reach for the stars and you land on the clouds. It's like even if you plan and things go wrong, it still works itself out because you've planned ahead. It's not like someone who hasn't planned at all and just like got blown with the wind. But some of those people, life works out for them as well. Don't get twisted. Life works out for those who don't plan as well. But it's just I am so I'm one of them people I don't like. Oh shit! I'm one of them people I don't like to leave everything up to just chance. Like I've got to have some structure in how I do things. It's just me personally, anyway. But yeah, the next point is how you react to these situations is the difference between make or break. It's the difference between patience or stress. I don't want to say like I don't get stressed, but it's been a while since I've been stressed out. And I I live a life where I could easily be stressed out all the time. But uh thank God I've developed certain um personal mechanisms in my mind uh that deplete my stress levels. I'm not going to say that I don't feel my cortisol rising when I'm stressed out at times. I do. But with implementing these um, mechanisms, I know that like my stress has like really um, been kept in check. So yeah, man, implement these things that I'm talking about. I will be writing a list of more things, more mechanisms that I implement. The patience character one, you get that for free. But the rest of the mechanisms that I develop, uh, I will be explaining on Patreon when I finally make my Patreon. And you will have to subscribe to my Patreon to get access to those other mechanisms. So stay tuned for that. But that will be something that I'm doing because I feel like these things are things that can be the difference between, you know, developing a calm life or a stressful life. And life will always throw wrenches at you. You know, life will never be smooth sailing all the time. But these mechanisms will be the difference between you living a calm life, like my boy Dubs D says, a calm life or a stressful life. So yeah, just look into the Patreon. I'll be making that soon, and I will share more mechanisms that can help you uh, defend yourself against potential stress. Because you know what they say, stress is a killer, cortisol is a killer, and it can throw you off your game, and nobody wants to be thrown off their game, you understand? Um, the last thing I will say on this video, because we are getting to the 20-minute mark, is exercise your patience as you would any muscle part in the body. Use every opportunity that you can to exercise your patience. And with that being said, I'm going to end the video here. It's your boy Benjamin. I hope you have a good day or you've had a good day, depending on when you watch this. I will see you later. To my YouTube family, love as always. Stay blessed. Peace.